John asked in LinkedIn that are there any important questions to ask before hiring a copywriter? I know it says Facebook on the screen, but LinkedIn doesn't allow us. So when somebody asks me a question in LinkedIn, we have to put it up manually. So it goes in as being from Facebook or YouTube, because we can't access LinkedIn directly through that platform. So John asked, are there any important questions to ask before hiring a copywriter? And I mean, we actually, again, have a whole guide on the website to how to choose a website copywriter. So if you actually can't get that from our download section, you can get it from the website. So if you just Google Taleist and how to choose a copywriter, you'll find that article. But actually, my belief is that it's much less about how you, what questions you ask the copywriter, and more about what questions the copywriter asks you, because copywriting is 100%, not 100% about research, but 80% about research. So to be a good copywriter, you have to have curiosity, and you have to have just that inquiring mind and that wanting to know about something. And I've always thought that one of my strengths as a copywriter is, for the period of time that I'm writing about a business, I am fascinated by that business. So I have written about things in my career that on the face of it, if I were to tell you what they were, you'd go, oh, that's really boring. I would not want to hear about that at a dinner party. But during the process, I am genuinely fascinated, and I'm asking questions, and I'm enthusiastic. And when I'm writing the copy, I'm enthusiastic about the product or the service. And that, to me, is critical. So you need someone who's got that desire to ask questions. And if you have a desire to ask questions, you will ask questions during the interview process. So I know, for instance, when people call us to inquire about copywriting, I think they're often quite surprised at the beginning of the call. A good 20, 25 minutes is probably just us asking questions like, oh, okay, why are you doing that? And why do you want that? And oh, who would read that? And why would they, why would they want that? And oh, okay, is this a challenge for you? Which genuinely isn't any kind of sales technique. I'm just interested. Like, I've had really great conversations with people who may go away and decide they're actually not ready to engage a copywriter. And I've learned some interesting things that I'll probably use, bring in another way on another project if you've got more background information. So the questions you want to ask before you speak to a copywriter are, why do you think you're any good at this? What's your track record? What does that look like? What's your process? Because if a copywriter tells you their process and their process doesn't involve a ton of research, then you're probably not talking to a copywriter. So you want to be listening for how many questions they're asking you. Ask them about their process to see how much research comes into it. And do not, please, get hung up on how much experience they've got in your niche, because generally that is either less important than you think, or actually you don't want someone who only writes about pot plants or bookbinding, because they will have lost sight of the questions that the average consumer has, because they will have become an expert on pot plants or bookbinding themselves. So the principles of copywriting, can be universally applied to different, to different topics.